Hello and welcome. I am Mundane Failure, and this is Brewing Time. Let's play. Alright, so today I wanted to brew around a card called Culling Ritual. It's from Strixhaven, and it is a wrath for cards for any non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. You then get to add mana for each permanent destroyed this way. So I really just wanted to play around with this because I feel like it's really strong against a lot of the aggro decks, the mono red, mono white, and the adventure type decks. And so I want to play with a few of these in a Sultai kind of control list. So if we're playing Sultai, we might as well be playing Binding the Old Gods and Coma as a win condition. And then you got all the other usual suspects for control. We got Extinction Event and Shadow's Verdict for more wraths. We got Shark Typhoon for a win condition because Shark Typhoon is insane. Behold the Multiverse and Omen of the Sea for our card advantage. And the reason we're playing Omen of the Sea instead of Maze Mind Tome is we get our value out of this as soon as we play it. Maze Mind Tome, we really want to get a little more value. We really don't want to destroy it after scrying a couple of times. Permission, we got Neutralize and Saw It Coming, only running 5. I don't know if that's the right number, but we can play around with that as we need to. 4 Heartless Act, we got a lot of Wraths, so we're only playing 4 Heartless Act. No Eliminate in the main deck, just because our Culling Ritual is going to take care of most of those permanents. And then 2 Cling to Dust for Rogues. Sideboard, we got more Wraths and Eliminate for the aggro matchups. Another Coma for control. Test of Talents, and Mystical Dispute, and Necromancia, basically for Ultimatum. So, that's the list. We're going to play a few matches and see how it goes. Alright, here we are for match number 1. We get to go second. Personally, I prefer going second with a control deck. I didn't mention it during the deck, but if you have any suggestions for things we could do differently with this deck, please leave a comment down below. Let me know. I love playing control, and I'd love to improve this deck in any way possible. This year's a keep for me. We got Heartless Act for anything the opponent plays early. We just need to draw a couple of lands. We got all 3 colors. Didn't really want to draw the 3rd Culling Ritual. Couldn't play that. Oh, that was a mistake. Should have played that as black. Look at me. New moves all around. Looks like we're playing another Sultai deck. Opponent bends, Strategic Planning, and Clearwater Pathway. So we'll go ahead and play this out on blue. Plan on cycling this Neutralize. Try to hit another black source because I screwed up. Just for meaning. So this is probably the Titan's Nest list, would be my guess. So they bend Strategic Planning and Zagoth Triumph. There's our black source. Heartless Act probably not going to be very good. Culling Ritual probably not going to be very good in this matchup. And we're just looking for more lands here. We do have a Binding the Old Gods. I'm going to bottom that. We want lands. Just with all the cards they're drawing, they're definitely on Titan's Nest. So we're going to need to look out for Onyx and Shark Typhoon Hardcast. And they bend an Alrund's Epiphany. Interesting. We got double blue, double black. I think triple blue is a little more important than triple black. If we ever get a turn after they make a bunch of birds with Alrund's Epiphany, Culling Ritual will be okay. But for the most part, it's looking like it's going to be pretty bad here. Carefully tapping their mana. Foretelling an Alrund's Epiphany, I'd imagine. Foretelling a second Alrund's Epiphany, that would be my guess. So we're going to face down a bunch of birds. Let's go ahead and do this main phase. If we're going to have to discard anyways, we'd at least like to try and hit a land here. And we do. I'll keep the Shark Typhoon. If we're able to resolve that, that'll be pretty powerful for us. It's all going to depend on what the opponent does here. They're probably afraid of counter magic. I think we just discard. I don't think there's any chance that Shark Typhoon's going to resolve. 2/2 Shark. Okay, so we get to destroy a 2/2 Shark. It's better than discarding. Onyx. Okay, she resolves.
Open your books to page 17.
So I think what we want to do here is make a 2/2 Shark and then binding the Old Gods on Onyx.
Let's go digging.
It's Temple. Omen of the Sea is fine. And then we're actually just going to hang back on defense here. Because at least one of these has got to be an Alrund's Epiphany. And we want to be able to eat some birds if they go in for attacks. And there's the first one. There's the second one. And a Thirst for Meaning. So if we get to Culling Ritual, we'll net 1 mana off of it. Just a matter of what can we do with that mana. And more card draw. Is that a Witherbloom command? Trigger player mills 3, return a land. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. -3, -1, target opponent loses 2. Yep. There's the Titaness we knew they were going to play. And they are almost empty in their library. So they get to do whatever they want here for the most part. I think we're going to see a Shark Typhoon. Yep, here's the Shark Typhoon. Second Onyx. That's brutal.
Witherbloom is just as dark and musty as I remember.
So we got a lot to deal with.
There has to be an answer here.
So I think first things first, we're going to Culling Ritual. I think we want more green than we do black. Let's go ahead and Omen here. The old multiverse does let us look at more cards. That is really unintuitive. Binding the Old Gods is a good draw for us. Question is, do we get rid of the Shark Typhoon or the Onyx? Doesn't matter because they have negate. Mystical Dispute. And I think that'll probably do it for us. I don't know what else we could have that would let us get back into this game. Other than them milling themselves out. Hardcast a second Shark Typhoon. I mean, we do have plenty of Wraths, so unless this is the fourth Alrund's Epiphany, we got a shot, and it's the fourth Alrund's Epiphany. So they're gonna get in for $1 million. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. Okay, so Necromantia's coming in. Coma's coming in. I'm not in love with the Shadow's Verdict. Mystical Dispute seems fine. What does Test of Talents get rid of? Nothing super impactful. Heartless Act can come out and Cling to Dust. I'd probably rather have a Heartless Act than a Cling to Dust. We will play first. This seems fine. Just go ahead and lead on the Tri-Land here. Sock coming is perfectly fine. And I don't think they can play anything on 3 that's super powerful, so we'll just foretell this and save ourselves a mana later. Neutralize is fine. Thirst for Meaning, you can resolve that. And they discard a Titan's Nest, which means they have another one in hand. They discard the hand size. I'll keep another saw coming. Discard 2 lands. So if they go for the Titan's Nest, I'm assuming they have a Mystical Dispute. I'm not going for it. Let's play this as a blue land. Shark Typhoon X3 is fine. Duress. Play the Saw Coming, that way we can use another Saw Coming if we need to. Otherwise we're tapped out. Strategic planning is fine. They discard a Alrund's Epiphany. Necromentia. So the question is, do we name Titan's Nest, Alrund's Epiphany, or Shark Typhoon? We know they have an Alrund's Epiphany in the graveyard, which means they probably have one in hand. I think they also have a Titan's Nest in hand. I'm gonna name Alrund's Epiphany. It's their way to close out the game. They have 3 Shark Typhoons in hand. Holy shit. So we definitely have to deal with the Shark Typhoons. So if we want to resolve Coma, we can, but that means they get to resolve a Shark Typhoon. If they draw a land, we can Extinction Event here. And then they just make a big shark. I think we just pass and make a 5/5 shark if we need to. Let them commit one more shark to the board before we extinction of that. We definitely don't want to go to 3. I'm going to make a 1/1 shark just to chump this 4/4. We have to go for the extinction event here. Disdainful stroke. Yeah, they got us. We saw it coming, the disdainful stroke, and then they mystical dispute us and we're dead. That was a rough one. Well, hopefully we'll have better luck in the next game. And here we are. We'll play first. This seems fine. I'll keep an island. Lets us cast Saw It Coming. Rogues? Rogues without Loris? That's weird. Or is it just mono blue mill? But why would they play a pathway? Doesn't matter what we keep on top, they're gonna mill it anyways. Go for Behold. I'll take a Shark Typhoon, bottom the land. So I'll land anyways. Play this out as a black source, since we've already got double blue. Although we'll never need double green, so maybe it was better to play that as a blue source and one of these as a black source. Dream Strix. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll definitely attack into this. So they want to learn. Learn's not really a best of 3 mechanic, fella. It's not very good in best of 3 anyways. go ahead and foretell Saw coming. Just to make it cheaper on a future turn. Of one mind. I'll neutralize that. They look like they're probably struggling for land drops here, so... Maybe it was correct just to resolve the Shark Typhoon while they were tapped out. Do that this turn. We'll just send it back. Strong Thought Thief is perfectly fine. They finally draw their fourth land. Let's let this resolve. I'll make a couple of sharks here. I'll take neutralize. We're just going to trade off here. No reason to take the damage. We've got a Shark Typhoon resolved, so I don't think there's much that can happen for us to lose this game. We'll just send it back. Get into 5. Looks like they're going to go for Intro to Annihilation, which we will not let resolve. I mean, they have to try to get rid of it. Scry 2. And the opponent decides they've had enough. Okay. It's fine with me. So if they're playing rogues, we definitely want the early removal. Not in love with the coma. I'm not super in love with the counter magic. Binding the Old Gods is only okay. Maybe we can go down like that. Just trim a few things. We should probably be playing Pelucranos in the sideboard for rogues, now that I'm thinking about it. So after this match, I will go ahead and add a couple of Pelucranos. I don't know what I'll take out. Seems fine. That is flash. You don't have to play it right now. scry again. I want them to mill that, so I'm going to leave it on top. Did they miss a land drop on 2? They definitely missed a land drop on 2. I don't know what kind of rogues deck this player is playing, but I think they need to increase their land count. And I think we're going to go for Omen plus Behold here. Bottom. That way our Culling Ritual gives us more mana. We could potentially hard cast the Shark Typhoon in a couple of turns. We'll take a Saw Coming. Cancel. That way we would have to discard. I'll counter that. And while they're tapped out, we're just going to hardcast another Shark Typhoon here. Let Shark Typhoon be the death of them. Dream Strix does not get hit by Culling Ritual. I mean, if the deck's gonna give them to me. Yeah, that's fine. Get in for 4. And we'll just pass it. We have the option to behold the multiverse to make 2 4/4s. We can saw it coming to make 2 3/3s. Let's make a couple of 4/4s. I don't know how any deck beats 2 resolved Shark Typhoons. Yeah, you can Test of Talents my Saw It Coming and get the last one out of my deck. I wonder if they're even playing Ruined Crab. Probably not, with the weird deck that they're playing. Just looking at our deck. See what spicy brew we've got going on. We'll just get in for 14 here. Have the opponent dead on board. Soaring Thought Thief resolves. And then gets eliminated. The gate is fine. Alright, easy. Doesn't help, or it helps that they were running a definitely less than optimal list. Let's go in and add Pelucranos. Go ahead and put 2 on the sideboard. And we will remove one of each Shadow's Verdict and eliminate. It's the same deck. The Rogue Ruse. Seems fine. Playing Kahira. Mulligan to 6. Jeskai, so what's that mean? Cycling? No. Creatureless control. Did bottom that, right? Yep. I want to let them think that that could be a counterspell, and I also don't want to overdraw. I imagine they're playing Shark Typhoon, so we'll keep a Heartless Act. Behold the Multiverse, that's fine. Top is scary. And we'll plan on making a 3/3 shark at the end of their turn if they don't do anything. I'm guessing they have Fire Prophecy. Yep. But we want to draw into a limit, so we're probably going to do that anyways. We'll go for Behold the Multiverse here. Temple into Omen is fine. Probably gonna want to cycle that. Bottom for sure. I can see a world where Culling Ritual is better than Shadow's Verdict, so we'll discard the Shadow's Verdict. Unless they go for something we can counter here. Shark Typhoon for 6, so we get to Heartless Act that. And they get to reload with the full hand. Birth of Melitos. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I think we'll keep both. Other Sank's good against more shark tokens. We want to make our land drops. Another Midnight Clock. Yeah, that resolves. Gonna go ahead and just cycle this Triome. Get a Cling to Dust value here. It might be good for us to have some kind of discard outlet. If we Culling Ritual, we get 3 mana back. Prevent them from gaining 2 life. It's probably not worth it. How much mana do we have next turn? Glimpse of Freedom, yeah, that's fine. 10 mana next turn, which means we get to Coma plus Hold Up neutralized for removal on her. Blue-red, I can't imagine what removal they'll have. Probably has to be double removal. Guess they could have a Banishing Light. One of those Foretold cards is probably Wrath. What's it called? Doomscar? They could have petty theft, which makes us pick up the coma. Behold. Bottom, looking for an answer for the serpent. Counter their fire prophecy. They could have double fire prophecy, like triple fire prophecy, double on the coma in response. Inspired ultimatum. I think we'll counter that. It's worth countering. The gate, that's fine. So they get to dome us for 5 and then draw 5. Hardcast a Shark Typhoon. It resolves. Doomscar, so we will give the coma indestructible. Let's go for a Cling to Dust on the Inspired Ultimatum. Taking Glimpse of Freedom to counter us drawing a card. Get rid of their Glimpse to Freedom. Which I'm sure they will draw a card to counter. No, they allow it to happen. Interesting. Bottom, we're looking for a Binding the Old Gods here. And there she is. Hopefully they don't have a second saw coming here. And they unfortunately do. We'll get in for 6. Interesting. Narset resolves.
Victory is just another puzzle to be solved. Enlightenment begins within.
We'll take 6 here. There's a Sot coming to exile. They don't get to cast it this turn. We get to get in for 12 here. Actually, we'll kill this Narset.
I need some time alone.
And let's Wrath away all these tokens. Saw it coming. So we get rid of their sharks. They make a 3/3 shark anyways. I don't know if we can actually win this match here. Should have tapped the Midnight Clock to gain a mana. Another Birth of Militus. And to the bottom. Got a lot of duds on the bottom here. Go for the extinction event. They have negate. See if we can draw a neutralize. We can't. That's gonna be game. We could make it go on for a couple more turns, but that game's over. I think it was over a couple of turns ago. So against his opponent, I like Mystical Dispute. Trim the Wraths. Kind of frustrating. Haven't played anybody where the Wraths are actually good. If we had played against an adventure deck or mono red, I think this deck would look a lot better. Seems fine. Culling to Dust is perfectly fine here. I'm going to play out the pathway instead of the Triome so that we can hold up Mystical Dispute if for some reason that's what we want to do. Shark Typhoon's a good card. I'm gonna cycle this. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go Cling to Dust here just to get card. Then we get to draw 2 more cards. If they want to counter this, I'm fine with that. Glimpse of Freedom is fine. We're probably going to end up making a 3/3 Shark, because we really need to hit our land drops. I'm going to see a 4/4 Shark out of the opponent here. Nope. Okay. It'd be nice to try and resolve one of these Shark Typhoons. Or to resolve this Shark Typhoon. So it looks like they probably got Fire Prophecy. Five X Shark. They buy Kahira. Let's go for Behold. Just stroke it. Prismari command. Yeah, that's fine. Discard Kahira land. Okay. So you paid 6 mana to draw a card. Try and get rid of their Glimpse of Freedom. They make a 4/4 Shark. We're definitely not in a winning position here. We've missed way too many land drops. Brutal. What are the chances they drew a counterspell? Probably pretty high. What are the chances they have 2 counterspells? Hopefully they don't have their own mystical dispute. That'll do it for me. Alright, well, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. If not, feel free to hit that dislike button. Either way works for me. Appreciate you.